The music of the Mario series holds a special place in many of our hearts. When I think of Mario, I think of quirky grooves, joyful energy, diverse stylistic influences, and angular melodies. The music is inseparable from the action. It drives the gameplay and sets the tone for the world. Mario's music is so iconic and so distinct that it almost represents a genre in and of itself. But how has it changed over the years? This ground theme from the original Super Mario Bros. Sets a tone of playful, wacky adventure right from the start. Here, the music of Mario was born, hand in hand with very humble musical technology. As we move forward from this point of time, this unique style of music evolved to embrace the possibilities of Nintendo's advancing technology. Listen to how this track from Super Mario World incorporates an impression of a banjo. Or how this tune from the opening level of Mario 64 uses the MIDI tech of the time to simulate a brass sax combo that wouldn't be out of place on an early R&B recording. These examples show how Mario's music seemed to be reaching for that real-world sound, even when restricted by the technology available. Its trajectory was towards the living, breathing styles that it emulated. Once Nintendo reached the era of the Wii, however, this natural evolution seemed to take a different path. Super Mario Galaxy evoked its sweeping universe with an expanded orchestral palette, but this marked a change in the overall feel of Mario music. The orchestral sound appropriately helped to bring Galaxy's floating worlds to life, but the resulting sound felt larger and weightier than the tight compositions that had defined Mario's music in earlier days. On the other hand, many other tunes in Galaxy, the ones that perhaps sought to evoke a more traditional Mario style, were relying on dated MIDI sound sets, in a time where real audio could have been easily used. The game also included a number of classic Mario hits, but these too relied on basic MIDI sounds, and perhaps as a result lacked their original vitality. It wasn't just Galaxy either. This trend was also evident in other Mario titles on the Wii. Even though the new arrangements for a game like Super Smash Bros. Brawl showcased some fun new twists on familiar themes, the same reliance on MIDI was prevalent. After 2 decades of evolution, it felt as though the series as a whole was settling into a pattern of reliving its past, and was perhaps in danger of losing some of the originality and charm it once had. At this stage, the consistent decision to use MIDI rather than real instruments simply didn't make much sense. Since it no longer appeared that Mario's music was reaching for acoustic realization, this once beloved music was feeling like a mere parody of its former vibrant self. Fast forward to the Wii U, and the winds of change have been blowing once again, and along with them the series has been making great musical progress, like the funk fusion of Mario Kart 8. And also the promising use of real instruments that Super Mario 3D World brought to the table. In this track one can hear how having an actual sax player within the MIDI texture gives this tune more life, even while retaining that quintessential Mario sound. It's with last year's Paper Mario Color Splash, however, that Mario music has finally begun to truly realise its modern-day potential. Even as you first boot the game up, you're greeted by a title theme that evokes the world of gypsy jazz, but yet is undeniably Mario in its construction, finally utilising a full ensemble of real musicians playing real instruments. This is a theme which wouldn't have been out of place in the Mario games of old, yet through authentic acoustic performance, it feels fresh. Let's take a closer look. At the beginning of the story, Mario comes upon a ruined town, and you hear this mysteriously evocative piece. It makes creative use of a small number of woodwind and string instruments, with some slight melodic hints of the old Mario Underground theme. Perhaps the implied suggestion is that Mario is descending into a dark situation. In the first proper level, you are sent on your way with a joyous original tune which takes its opening melodic frame straight from the classic Mario theme, before it bounces off and becomes its own new composition. The map music gives an altered version of the main theme, but also updates its instrumentation and arrangement every time you make a significant progression in the game. Listen to how this first version compares with this later version. There's even a homage to the technology of older Mario music, including a transformation of Color Splash's own combat theme. The fact that this moment feels so authentic is testament not only to the skill of the composers in recreating these retro sounds, but also to the strength and flexibility of the new tunes written for this game. It is without a doubt modern-day Super Mario music. Color Splash is full of such examples, and on the whole it's strong, interesting musical writing through and through. What's more, it delivers on the musical potential that the Mario series had been hinting at from the very beginning. My hope is that the upcoming Mario games on the Nintendo Switch will take their cues and inspiration from this point onwards, because in Paper Mario Color Splash we can finally hear what Mario music can be with real audio. An exciting synthesis of the creative joy and wackiness inherent in this style of music, and the depth of expression that acoustic instrumentation and human musicians bring.